Hello, I'm Jacinta and I have over 100 houseplants. Welcome to my channel, Pass That Plant. A few months ago I repotted my string of hearts. We lost quite a few hearts along the way because I tried to untangle the long vines. I do not recommend doing that. But to make a fuller plant, I wrapped the vines around and pushed the tubers into the soil, which are these little white potato looking things. You can see? And since I did that, I've had a lot of new growth, new vines, and now she's even flowering. So you can see how full and beautiful the top is now. For this string of hearts, I have it planted in a cactus and succulent soil, and then in a terracotta pot, obviously. This plant gets the full morning sunlight. It's sitting in a north-facing window and I'm in Australia. She is so beautiful now. I am tempted to cut off these vines because they're still a bit scraggly and I just know I'll get a lot more new growth once I do that. There is a lot of tubers along the vines as well, so I can chop them off and replant them into the top or into a separate pot to make more string of hearts. For care, I water this one whenever the leaves start to look a little bit limp. You can do the taco test, which means you grab one of these leaves and you try and fold it in half. These ones won't because I have watered it. But if yours do fold in half and they're quite malleable, it's time for a water. So I water every 1 to 2 weeks. It gets the full morning sunlight and I rarely fertilize this one. Super easy to look after and a gorgeous plant. I will add the original clip in now so you can see how I wrapped around the vines and pushed them into the soil. If you're not interested in that but you love a string of things, I suggest checking out my string of pearls care videos. Also in a terracotta pot with a cacti and succulent soil. Stunning. Let's repot my variegated string of hearts. It has been in this pot without drainage holes and God knows what soil for a few years now, and she's growing much longer. I keep looping it around, but it is definitely time for a bigger and wider pot. I am going to repot her into a wide terracotta pot. It's quite wide and shallow, which works really well for string of things plants. I have a little terracotta saucer as well. Slowly I have been repotting all of my cacti and succulents into terracotta, and it's really made such a difference. I used to be one of those people who could not keep the string of pearls alive, but this one is absolutely thriving since the repot. Also have my euphorbia that's in an unglazed ceramic, and one of my gorgeous cacti, the ceropegia, is in cement. So let's do it. Terracotta works so well for these plants because it is a porous material, which means it absorbs water and air can also pass through it. Airflow is important because it helps to stop root rot and to dry out the soil faster, which is very important for succulents and cacti. Now somehow I have tangled my plant around these chains, so I'm just going to unhook it at the top rather than trying to feed them all back through, where I will lose a lot of leaves. You can see some are already popping off. So let's do that carefully. 1, 3. I had looped it around a few times to stop it from touching the floor, so I don't actually know how long it is now. Oh, how well I'll be able to untangle it. So I did manage to untangle the string of hearts, but we did lose a lot of hearts in the process. If I were to do this again, I would definitely just chop and prop the sections, but I did want to see how long it is, which we have achieved. So very, very long string of hearts. Now let's repot. So we are a few hearts down, but that's okay. I was going to show you how to chop and prop them anyway. Now we will just do it with the bare vine sections. Got my potting mat. What's left of my string of hearts? It's fine. I'm going to use gloves. A little cute shovel. I'm actually surprised that this string of hearts is as healthy as it is, because this is not a good potting medium that it's in, and no drainage, which is a big no-no. But I've probably had it for 4 or 5 years, so since before I knew what I was doing. See, all of this is really only from 3 growth points. Now we'll find the potatoes. Do you think they look like potatoes? Some people call them beads. And they are. And I have an absolute ton of them along my string of hearts. So you can see they're all the way along. And I can cut off any of these sections and plant them and create new vines. So even though she's had a bit of a loss, she will regrow. I'm still going to go up this larger pot size because I'm going to plant it in the middle and then wrap the vines around. So I do want more surface area. It's also better for succulents because there won't be a lot of soil which is damp, which they obviously don't like. So using a mesh round in the bottom to stop soil from falling through because it is quite a big hole. Okay, the gloves are going back on, and I'm going to add in my cacti potting mix. Make a little well in the center. One last look at this potato before I bury it in the soil. Now I'm going to wrap the rest around. To hold the vines in place, I'm going to use these little pins that you can buy. Get them off Amazon, you can get huge bundles. Or you can just use a safety pin if you've got those on hand and just bend them as well. Or even a bobby pin. So you can buy new ones or use what you have. Like that. You can see it's starting to grow roots without even being in the soil. Once they are rooted a bit longer, you can just snip off the other side of the vine and then you'll have a new string of hearts plant. Alright, let's pin those down. I'm just going to pin down these sections now. they don't come up. So the string of hearts is a semi-succulent, so you don't really want to be watering it more than every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your climate obviously, and the season. There's water coming out the bottom, so that is plenty. So let's see how she goes in the next few weeks. And that's it. Let me know what you think. I already know I should have propagated it first. I am excited to see if any of the leaves do grow roots. It's definitely easier to propagate via the tubers, but sometimes that's not an option, and that's okay too. Still plenty trailing. Now let's go and put her somewhere sunny. Boiled.